Well, Trade Minister Don Farrell is urgently seeking talks with the US over tariffs on three of America's largest trading partners that could impact Australian exports. US President Donald Trump's threats to impose levies on computer chips, pharmaceuticals and aluminium have heightened concern from Canberra. Senator Farrell says his American counterpart, Howard Lutnick, has agreed to talks. The sector-based tariffs open up a new front in the trade war, separate from President Trump's executive order on Canada, Mexico and China. But the problem here is, when it comes to talks between Australia and the US, that Lutnick hasn't been confirmed yet. So you've got to wait for confirmation to come, hence the delay. Joining us live now, University of Virginia political scientist Larry Sabato. Larry, I guess it was expected, and it had already been forecast that Canada and Mexico would respond. Where does this lead to?
Maybe an all-out trade war. What Americans are worried about is it's likely to lead to more inflation. And as you remember, Donald Trump was elected. The number one issue was immigration, but close behind was the rate of inflation, which was quite high during Joe Biden's term and cost the Democrats the White House. So prices were supposed to come down. That's what Trump said during the campaign. Instead, they either haven't moved or they've already gone up a little. And with these tariffs, I think they're likely to go up more.
Presumably, Donald Trump would have anticipated a response, though, right?
Oh, of course. I think he knew that the response would be pretty much what it has been, although he has indicated that if there was a response, and there already has been in Canada and will soon be in Mexico and China, then he will increase our tariffs again. So this will go back and forth, and the ping pong may take place between the United States and other countries too, including Australia.
So we saw in recent weeks, Colombia was threatened and then it stood down, walked it back. What's the circuit breaker here when it comes to Canada and Mexico?
Well, the administration has said that they want to see concrete actions to reduce fentanyl coming across the borders, and there is a lot of it coming across the Mexican-U.S. border. There really isn't with Canada. It's well under 1% of our fentanyl problem, which is very severe, no question. And then immigration itself, stopping the flow of illegal immigrants across the border. Again, Mexico is doing better, but in the administration's view, not good enough. Canada has never really had that much of a problem, and it certainly isn't much of a problem now. So we don't know what the circuit breaker is.
And meanwhile, there's talk that, you know, allies like Australia and probably others too would get caught up in this. Do you see it that way?
Oh, I think it could easily happen. I think that Trump has bigger things in mind, and for various reasons that most economists disagree with, he is convinced that these tariffs will revive the American economy. Now, again, I'm not an economist, but many of my friends are. And they almost all tell me that this is going to result in a weakened economy. And they don't know who's giving Trump this advice, but they think that person should be fired.
All right, we'll see how this is going to feed into the local story with respect to our share market today. Larry, thanks for your time.